In this video, I'm going to be going over the 20 secret tips you need to know for DMZ Season 2, and I assure you by the end of this video, you'll have learned something new for your next game. So let's get into it. But if, like me, you're loving DMZ right now and you want more DMZ content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. This first tip is going to make your life a lot easier when doing raid weapon stash contracts, because usually you're stood by a safe where a ton of very strong AI are going to be spawning trying to kill you. There is a way to defend the safe without a single AI coming to you. There's two ways to do this depending on where you are for the contract. As you can see, I'm in the new smuggling tunnel stronghold where I'm currently doing it, and there's a door really close by that I know that AI are going to enter in. So what I've done is I've put a vehicle blocking that door, so now I can stand by this safe and there won't be a single AI coming towards me for the entire thing. This is even better if the contract is in one of those really small 2-story houses, because usually they will have barbed wire on the stairs. If you mantle up onto that second floor without fusing or tripping that barbed wire and start the safe, AI will not be able to come up the stairs again because that trap is there. My next tip is that stronghold keycards are now OP in Season 2, especially when it comes to Ashika Island, where the enemies drop them pretty frequently and the stronghold's having the best loot. Every time you see a stronghold keycard on the ground, regardless if you have one, be sure to pick them up because they are unlimited use and you can take them between games and they are so great for regaining. Now, this next tip is how to get a guaranteed GPU spawn. What used to be one of the rarest items in DMZ now has a guaranteed spawn on Ashika Island. In order to get it, you're going to need to get a Tsuki Castle weapons locker key. As within the castle on Ashika Island, if you go through the front doors and take an immediate right, there is a room that will contain a weapons locker. Now, you need that locker key in order to open it, but there will be at least one GPU within those 3 lockers. And if you're lucky enough, all 3 lockers could contain a GPU as well. If you're on a later mission where you need to find one, then that's a guaranteed spot. This next tip is one which I don't think is going to last forever, so definitely take advantage of it, but this is how to duplicate your field upgrade once per game. All you need to do is throw down your field upgrade, then go over to your loadout under your backpack, and where the icon for the field upgrade would be, just literally press the drop button and you'll see you'll have another field upgrade out of nowhere. You can choose to stow or equip it, and there you go. You've just somehow got 2 field upgrades. On a similar note, here is a tip that you should be doing every DMZ game to maximize the amount of ammo, lethal and tactical equipment you're carrying, and armor plates. As soon as the round begins on DMZ, you should go ahead and drop all of your armor plates as well as all the ammo, both of your guns as well as your tactical and lethals. Once you're empty, using the munition box will refill you with ammo, tactical and lethal nades. You'll have a fresh amount on you, and then you can just go back and pick up the original ammo and equipment that you dropped, so now you've stowed it and you now have more. And the same for armor plates. If you spawn in with a full set of 3 plates, drop them, have someone drop an armor box, and now you'll have 6 armor plates to start the game off with. And this will save your life in those moments where you just need more than 2 sets of nades. Now let's move on to the best new looting spot in all of DMZ. Sadly, the Sour Hotel Room 302 has been patched, so you can no longer go in there without a key, but there is a brand new area that has similar loot, is in Sour Village as well, and you can get in without a key. If you make your way over to this side of Sour Village and to this bank building, what you need to do is go up to the roof of the bank building and then go to the left side. From there, you'll see this building across the street that has an open window, and what you want to do is just jump and glide into the window and you'll be in the Sour Crypto mining room. Normally, you need a key in order to get inside of here, but for some reason, it's now open in Season 2. It is arguably the best place to regain if you spawn near it in a game of Al Mazrah. I don't think this place will exist past Season 2, so use it whilst you can. Let's move on to some really cool Ashika Island tips and tricks. The waterways can be a pretty risky spot on the map with AI and real players galore, including not 1 but 2 Shadow Company juggernauts. Did you know if you get on the turret of a boat in the waterways, the jug won't be able to shoot at you? Look at it right here. The moment I'm on the turret, it won't shoot at me, and as soon as I get off, it can see me and it starts lasering me. If you're down here looking for a getaway and the AI are on your tail, then be sure to use this turret because you will be the one that will stay alive. But another tip and trick here in the waterways in Ashika Island that you have to use is how to get into the secret bunker. In order to open the bunker, you need to go swim underwater by this submarine and go through this far right pipe. You're going to be swimming through this underwater tunnel until it leads you into these caves where you'll need to do some parkour on these boxes in order to hop from one side to the other, and then in through this broken hole in the wall into the bunker itself, where you're going to find some really good loot, some weapon lockers, some rare crates. It's without a doubt the best place to go straight away in Ashika Island. Because nowhere has better loot than this bunker right here. This next tip is going to teach you how to get the rarest item in all of DMZ on Ashika Island. It's 3 masks worth 75k. Now, there is a way to guarantee yourself to get these every game, but you're going to need to get 2 keys. First one is called the HMS Shipwreck Key. And in order to get this, you're going to need to get it from just killing enemies, HVTs, other Shadow Company AI, but you need that key. Once you have that key, you need to make your way to the Shipwreck's POI. And on this ship, you're going to need to swim underwater to open this crate with the HMS Shipwreck Key. Inside is always going to be this guaranteed loot of a gold skull as well as the drifting supply bag key. This drifting supply bag key is super important because that opens the bag with the masks worth 75k. This bag is hidden extremely well. It's literally under the ocean, so you need to go past Oganaku Farms and go out to sea until you get to this spot. And from here, you need to swim underwater towards the bag, use the key to unlock it, and get those 3 masks. As you see, we have the masks here. There are 3 of them, all worth 25,000. When you sell, you're going to have 75 grand. More than enough money for you to regain everything you need in one foul swoop. Getting a free plate vest, large backpack, and then exfilling out of there. This next tip is a genuine game changer, allowing you to see approximately how many players there are in the game. Now, in order to do this, you need to pause your game, go over to the audio and channels, and then click squad. Once you're in squad, look at the top left where you can see the headphone icon and the player icons, and you'll see a number next to the headphones, which means how many players are connected to the squad game chat at that moment. Now, sadly, this won't show 100% of players in the game because not everyone is going to have proximity chat on or be connected to that squad chat to hear game chat. But it's a great way to get an idea of a rough amount of players that are in the game currently, and it works on Ashika Island, Building 21, Al Mazrah, and is so useful when trying to work out how many players could be left at the final exfil. This is a tip I now use every single game I play. I don't even know if it was there since the beginning of DMZ, but it is insanely helpful. It's as helpful as this tip for the final exfil. If you are looking to do the final exfil and there are no other hunt squad contracts left on the map, that means you are the only team left because there are no other teams to hunt, which is obviously invaluable knowledge for yourself, making sure you can use that final exfil safely. That's a tip a lot of teams know about in DMZ, but if you weren't aware, I need to catch you up with that one. Now, this next tip is invaluable for those that frequently suffer from game and server crashes. If your game crashes, then unfortunately, you're going to lose everything. But in the very rare occurrence where the server itself crashes, which can happen where you are lagging around like crazy and absolutely nothing is moving, once you inevitably get disconnected from the server, you'll see that everything in your invent saved from as if you never went in. An absolutely amazing quality of life tip that wasn't there at the start of the game. Now, these next 2 tips are going to be so helpful if you're trying to get the weapon case on Ashika Island. You can make your life a ton easier by taking out the bomb maker boss before you've even set foot in the castle. And the way to do this is to go behind the castle on top of the hills and look through this window here. For some reason, you can shoot right through it, taking out all the AI in that top floor, including the bomb maker himself. And to identify him even easier through the walls, make sure you throw a snapshot grenade. That way you can just snipe him through the wall, take him out, and the rest of the AI without even going in the castle. But it gets one better with this next tip because you can take out all of the AI on the second floor of the castle before you've even gone in by shooting through several grated windows that are around the back of the castle. You can take out the traps on the ground, the AI that are looming for some reason that don't shoot back at you, and more importantly, take out the sentry guns. That way, when you enter the castle, you won't have to take down really anything, and you can just go straight up to the top floor, grab the weapon case with relative ease. One thing that makes the castle a bit challenging is the Wilson, and we'll show you how to insta-kill it. So if you come from the back of the castle from that hill, make your way up here, and then jump over to this hut that's facing the castle, you can take down the Wilson as soon as it roams around by throwing 2 thermites down. If you're on the same level as the Wilson, it will obliterate you in seconds, but here, because you're up high, gives you the perfect amount of cover if it does shoot at you, and those thermites will take it out very quickly, allowing you to simply hack it and go in the castle without much worry. Let's jump back to Al Mazrah for this incredible tip if you have this spawn here in Al Mazrah City, because if you do, you're in the perfect spawn to board the new passenger train, which is just going to be pulling up at the Al Mazrah City station, giving you first dibs on one of the best new loot spots in all of DMZ, and especially for Al Mazrah. Loot on this train is absolutely wild in comparison to the older train. Now, this next tip might sound like common sense, but for some reason at the start of Season 2, this did not work. If you extract with any of the new Battle Pass weapons, it does unlock them for you to use in multiplayer Warzone DMZ. 20 operators that you kill that have these new guns, take them, extract them, and you'll have them for yourself. This next tip is for all my DMZ solo players out there, and that is to make sure that you always play with squad fill on. That way, if you die, you have the chance of the teammates reviving you you, but better still, you can plead for your life by holding down on the D-pad when you're killed, and there's a chance that the enemy team will rescue you, reviving you and joining their team. That way you have guaranteed teammates that will revive you and you'll stay in the game longer, because if you die as a solo in DMZ, that's it, game over, you don't get another chance. I find if you are playing solo and you do get killed by an enemy team and you use voice chat to tell them that you're a solo and you've pled for your life, they're more likely to rescue you. Now this tip and trick might sound obvious, but one of the best new loot spots is now on DMZ in a stronghold near Al Mazrah City. It has 5 different entrances in order for you to enter. It's called the smuggling tunnels, and you have a ton of amazing loot there, but you do have some very strong AI looming around there as well. If you have a stronghold keycard, it's a no-brainer to check out this spot. Here is a secret with vehicles that I bet you didn't know. Most of us assume the marine gas stations can only be used to refuel boats, but did you know that you can use these to refuel vehicles? Not just ground vehicles, but light helos can also be refueled from marine gas stations. This is so useful because normally gas stations are in pretty popular areas where there will be a lot of players around, but marine gas stations are always out in the middle of nowhere. Guaranteed quiet spot for whilst you're refueling. This also works for the GC Hummer EV as well. It charges via these gas stations. It's crazy. But for the final tip in this video, this is how you can always guarantee a rare legendary crate, and it's going to be on the roof of this hut in Al Samam Cemetery. I don't know why, but it's just always there. So if you're passing it, you'd be silly not to check that out. Going for more DMZ tips.